speak up on what's right. Unwavering in the mission with hands tight. Fire it up, soul man. Rise my feet and can fly. As my feet rise, will be as my feet rise, my feet jump out, igniting the night sky with fire to show just how far the silently struggling can really go. Standing up to speak up on what's right, unwavering in the mission with hands tight. Fire it up, soul man.
I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up, man?
To the one. Race for lift off. The rafters are coming undone. Exercising the system with different perspective, a different view, delivering that universal joy that's long overdue. 'Cause if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fight. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Q-Box with speakers blasting, honking the Lexi, pumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare. Momentum growing like a Titan's wrath. Crowd building it up now, it's time to broadcast. Your photo whacking, fast and tapping, moon sliding on that floor. Like Michael Bublé crooning, with records scratching, your body screams it wants more. We're all hyped up, it's Friday night, and the band's ready to go. Souls are shaking with the earthquake, and let's get on with the show. As if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fire. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Groovy jukebox with speakers blasting, funky Lassie pumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare. Here comes the intro with the soul style beat. The wait is all over now, igniting the phoenix is what we see. As if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fight. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Groovy jukebox with speakers blasting, funky Lassie pumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare.
Hello and good evening and happy Friday, everybody. So great to see you here. We've got, as always, a jam-packed evening this evening. First off, And I mean, big Hulk heart and big burly hugs going out to Stephen Colbert. And of course, this week, Jimmy Kimmel. I wanted to hit this because even though I am not by any means to their volume and level of being a late night talk show host, I am one. And I know that there's a lot of controversy out there, and that sometimes perspective can play into how you react and listen to something. And so, as a fellow talk show host, just wanting to give my 2 cents worth out there. I hope that both of them do come back. They are talented individuals that have worked and paved their way to where they are. And I hope that it means something, even coming from a cat like myself. Now 78 episodes in, 3.5 years of doing this. It is not an easy task to be a late night talk show host. We talk about a lot of challenging things. And if you look back through the history of being a talk show host, we look at some fantastic people out there that have opened the doorway for conversation. And that's what late night talk shows do. And now, granted, there are some other shows out there. Oprah Winfrey, just in her earlier days, again, opening the doorway to have conversations to help normalize things. And there was a tragedy that happened. Not going to get into how I feel that this was addressed. The thing is that, again, we need to also be graceful, and that everybody has a human day. And sometimes we don't always have the full circumstances of how this came to play. So don't lay judgment. Give that safe space to just allow things to pan out the way that they are, and allow people to just be people. We all screw up. That's why I have this show. So welcome for those of you that are just joining us. My name is Aaron Gibson. This is Soul Man Live. This is a late night mental health talk show dedicated to those that are silently struggling. And what I do here is I bring on beautiful souls that may connect with you in your journey that you are traveling right now. And they might have that little resourceful tidbit that makes you take that chance on the olive branch. And if you are just attending the show as well for the first time, and you yourself at home are struggling with your self-worth, are questioning your place in this world, please know that in Canada and the US, you can reach out to 988, and in the United Kingdom, you can reach out to 999. Soul Man Live will always stay universal to helping those reach out. I am not a coach. And I know one person out there in the comments, and I'll get to the comments. You guys are blowing it up for me. This is opening monologue time, as all of us late night talk show hosts do. I am not a coach. I am that person to be that friend that helps you reach out to a coach. Make you realize that maybe now is a time that you start putting yourself first. And also calling you, like I tell everybody that knows me, and we do have a little bit of profanity here, but I will call you on your shit. These eyes have seen a lot, and I will know if you are just trying to mask. You speak, and I've said it so many times, you speak your loudest when you say nothing at all. And the way that you hold your eyes, the way that you react to things, and the energy that you project when you're talking, just even in the tone that you're talking, are all things that are noticeable. So if you're having a bad day, don't be afraid. Take that time right now, even during my live, to reach out to a friend and just say, hey, just want to let you know that I'm just thinking of you. Hope you're having a great Friday, and peace out. That can be a critical thing in somebody else's world that is struggling right at that moment. And you never know. And what is it going to hurt to do that for somebody else? That is exactly how I started the foundation here for Soul Man Live. When I first started off 3.5 years ago, I literally had like 48 followers at that point in time. I was very small, very tidbit, but I took the time, and I bet you there's still some people in the audience that I know Nick, Nancy, Deborah Barrows. Like, I would take time every morning, regardless of the shit I was going through, to message them and at least wish them a really great day, and let them know that their contributions to the world and just being here is always appreciated. So where does that leave us? Well, opening monologue time is, of course, done for me, and we got to start talking about my special guest for this evening. And I got the beautiful chance of actually sitting down with her after we had just done another book together. And this was about a year ago that we also had a one-on-one in real, like virtual, just get together and chat about, some potential ideas and things that, were coming down the line for her. And we really connected in the fact that we've traveled similar paths. We've gone through some adversities. And she really shines in the fact, like she shines in the fashion that when you look at her, you see perseverance and integrity both at the same time. It is really unique. At the same time, she has a softness about her that is inviting, that you want to learn more from her. And we all come from those wakes and walks where, you know what, we're obviously not going to rub everybody the right way, and we may rub somebody else the wrong way. That might be an HR issue that I might have just brought up live, but we're going to play with it. Okay, that just made it worse. I think I just put my foot in my proverbial foot. What? Okay, yeah, I just said that. Part of this is having a laugh with our show, and that's what I try to aims to do. But anyways, getting back to what we were talking about, again, we've got somebody that has risen up through some great adversities in her world, and I've seen it happen. And her softness, again, invites you in to come in and talk to her. And if you are able to listen to what she's talking about, you can grasp some great entrepreneurial actions that can really help to change your world. And she does this, and she's so selfless. Again, we're looking at another Disney character here on Soul Man Live that has blessed us, but at the same time, press her the wrong way, and you will get the assertive side. And it takes a lot to do, but she knows where to cut her losses and make advancements. So without further delay or ado, with my magic pen wand up in the air, getting it all circle, please welcome to the stage, Kinga. Hello, my lady.
Hello. How is everyone tonight?
I know.
Can everyone hear me?
Caught up on comments here. I'm like 42 comments behind. So we were going to get to you. Please. Welcome aboard. How you doing? How's Friday?
I'm having a fantastic day. First of all, I so enjoyed like kind of the buildup that we've had all week. So honestly, you know that ever since we had that first conversation, because when I see talent in somebody, I kind of obsess about it. And so I have been asking you, and then I kind of was like, all right, I'm going to leave him alone. And I don't like to guilt trip anybody. So, but your talent, I'm a huge fan of, because when I see somebody that they love what they do, that to me is what I want a piece of, because I think that the most creative that we can be is when we genuinely love what we're doing. And it was just so clear. It's just so clear that you do this because you love what you're doing. So, I just, everybody wants kind of a piece of that. Who doesn't? So yeah. I think we were talking, you're like, okay, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I don't care. And that's kind of the way that I view things in life in general, is when I know where I'm going, that's just the way that I'm kind of moving. I'm moving towards something, and who knows where we'll end up. But, as long as we're with the right people and we know the kind of people we want in our orbit, we're going to make great things. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's get some,
week leading up to it.
So, because you know how we roll here again, it's just like a late night talk show where I get to visit with my rock star friends and bring them on and shine some light on them and celebrate them in their evening. You have so many people here this evening showing up for you, and I am going to try and get through all the comments here. But it goes to show of the impact and character that you have contributed back out to the community. And I just want to take a moment to reflect on that, because you are as equally talented, and I've watched that happen, and I've had the pleasure of writing with you. And yes, you've seen me in the Zooms doing my normal fun stuff that I do. And Nick's cringing in the background. I can hear her right now. Stop that. No. Shout out to, of course, Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House, that, of course, really kickstarted this little friendship as well. And when we got to actually write together. So, of course, As always, I know you better than everybody. Let's try and bring everybody up to speed. Please, Kinga, introduce yourself to everybody and pronounce your last name so that everybody understands how to pronounce your last name, because I know that when I first met you, that was a struggle. And so you're getting it right from the horse's mouth right here tonight. Friday,
Right.
live.
Yes. Okay. Kinga Vita. And it's so much easier than it's spelled because,
Vita.
as you can see, Vita. And so what I tell people to remember is Vita like a vitamin, nothing like what it's spelled.
Vitamin
But,
K, yo. Love it.
right. Vitamin, like, you need a little bit of me every day in your life. Why not? So, yeah, vitamin is how you can remember. Just leave the min off. So, yeah, it's pretty easy, but not how
All right.
it
And where are
works.
you hailing from today? 'Cause
I'm
I
in
know you're a
Austin,
busy lady. You
Texas.
sometimes travel. Sorry, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay. Is that home for you,
So
or are you in travel?
So I live in Austin, but I grew up in Vermont. So I was half an hour from the Canadian border, and I was so excited to see my friend Sean on here. We grew up together, and so hopefully he's still on there. And I've invited a couple of my other friends, but yeah, we used to go up to Canada. It was like half an hour, literally half hour drive. And so very familiar with my Canadian friends. And then I went to school. Yeah. Went to school in Georgia. And then I lived on the East Coast in Charleston, South Carolina until I moved to Texas about 9 years ago. So I've kind of done a whole, in the United States. So who
Okay,
knows where I'll
so
end up next?
squirrel moment question for you. And I've got a chance to try one end of the spectrum. I'm going to ask you, what's better, North Carolina grits or South Carolina grits?
I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't
Do
know
you
that
not
I'm
like
really.
grits? You can also tell us that you don't like grits.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I'm not
It's not
like.
for everybody.
I mean, put it this way: I was raised where I didn't really have options about what I liked, and so I'm kind of like I'm good with anything. But I also, grits was not something that got me excited either. So I'll have to ask my mom. She really likes them.
Okay. Well, I love them. Like,
To come back.
we have something. I'm pretty sure you guys have cream of wheat down there. It's
Yes,
just
I grew
different
up on that.
texture and obviously different ingredients that go into that. But yeah, here we are squirreling off on grits. But
Yeah,
of course, my
I don't know
stomach
that.
just stepped into play. I was like, oh,
Have you eaten
Carolina, I likes Carolina, and I likes them grits. Oh my God, they am so good. So there's a little bit of my weird accent that pops out. Actually, my friend Patricia knows this about me. Like, accents come out of me all the time. It's not always a good thing either, but
I've had
I
people
do
tell
have
me
good,
though.
healthy appreciation
Yeah.
for them. So, Kinga, getting on to a little bit more of the meat and potatoes, where would you like to start this evening? Because I would really like to dive in if we could, and it's up to you. Of course, we go where you want to go. This is your special evening. However, I'd really like you, if you could talk a little bit about kind of paving your way and the way that you were regarded within your work environment, because that is, I know, something that is on the surface for a lot of people out there right now, with the struggles that are going on and the universities getting even larger. Can we go there tonight? Is that possible,
Yeah.
my lady? Thank you so
Yeah.
much. So I'll let you take it from there, and then I'm gonna,
Yeah.
of course, ask the questions that come along that just spark in my
Yeah.
mind as we do this. So take us for a
Yeah.
little adventure down the rabbit hole, if you were.
Oh,
Of course, your Mad
love
Hatter's
it.
with you to walk you along the way, and take your time to just talk a little bit. So, with your work environment, describe it a little bit, just for everybody that's sitting at home.
Yeah. So, part of it, I have to give a little bit of background, just
Yeah.
and it was a good lead in about where I grew up, right? And being a child of parents that had immigrated from Hungary, I was already learning two languages growing up, and so I had this very literal interpretation of language, and I never really was able to escape that, where I was constantly trying to kind of do this mental math where I'm taking information and I'm translating it into kind of this literal meaning. And so oftentimes I'd be asking clarifying questions when people say something, and it's not because I was trying to be difficult, but I'd just be like, I want to make sure that I'm accurate. And especially because I had a very disciplined family, and the expectations were pretty high. And so this wasn't about necessarily being people pleasing, it was about the expectations that were set for me. And and so this was not, so it was an expectation that I just had to fulfill. And and if any of my childhood friends are on here, I'm sure that they would jump in and agree. So, I kind of grew up this way, and I was very much kind of used to being having the tools to be successful, because schools were set up in a way that having this understanding of things made me successful. And it wasn't until later in life when I joined corporate America where it wasn't working for me. And I didn't really understand why it wasn't, because I had thought that, okay, if I'm just leading with integrity and I am just trying to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and here's a group of people, then all I have to do is really understand the gap and then make it work. And so I really focused on that. But what I started to find was in rooms that I would be in, people were not necessarily behaving that way. And I thought that my job was to help people go, oh, okay, I've identified, wait, we're not actually aligned. We're not really actually figuring out what we need to do. I'm going to be helpful and call that out and make sure that we get kind of realigned, and then we can move forward, because companies always say this is what we're trying to do and we need to get it done. And so I was able to get results, a lot of results, and I was very effective, because I was very precise and I understood and I was able to size up a situation very quickly.
Okay, hold on a sec. When you say precise, let's get a little bit into the meat and potatoes of this. All right.
Yeah.
Like, so where was your mindset? What was your focus? Where was this coming from?
Well, it was just
because a lot of people might just want to walk away and just say, hey, you know what, like, that's too much effort. But you make that effort. So
it wasn't, to me, it wasn't even an effort. I think I was just natural. To me, things were just clear. If I saw what it took, to me, actually, it felt very offensive. I felt like almost people were, I was like, why are we sabotaging this thing? Why? Like, I was actually confused. And I felt like things were almost being sabotaged, and I was genuinely confused. And so I would be like, why did you just say this? And it completely contradicts with this. And why are we walking out of here pretending like things are okay when it's clearly not? And so I would ask, but these things contradict each other. And so we should not leave this room pretending like it's okay. We should probably make a plan that makes sense, right? And so I wasn't making friends, but I was getting results. And so I think I would put people in a situation where they didn't quite know what to do with me, right? Because here I am, kind of, when you're effective, but you're also not well liked. And meanwhile, I was like, but I'm actually just trying to be helpful. And I genuinely was, with my heart. And so, that was just kind of my corporate experience, was a lot of that, where my heart was in a place where I really wanted to make things better for everybody around us, but it wasn't accepted. And I didn't understand that. And I didn't understand what the issue was. And then I'd start seeing things, and I got jaded, and I saw myself kind of as this change agent. And over years, I just started to kind of really like get more of this, like, grind into it. Like, you know what? This is wrong. I'm sorry?
Fine tuning. I would say it's fine tuning.
Yeah. But then, so I was in the tech industry, And that's when agile, which is now a very common term, we hear it almost totally overused, but in the tech industry, it was a new concept. It's an actual methodology. I know Leslie is very familiar with it, but it was something that was very much rolled out as a methodology for building software development products. And oh, my friend Megan is here. She's one of my best friends from Charleston, South Carolina. And so, I really I wanted to focus on how can I help small groups of people become effective at working in these groups. And then I started to notice that the executives around me didn't necessarily know what they wanted. And so, as teams of people understood what they wanted and what they could get done, the executives weren't necessarily making decisions in the timely manner or knowing what they wanted to get done. So I saw a lot of dysfunction, and I had the ability to kind of take a step back. I call it like the zoom out, zoom in approach, right? I was with the people, but then I kind of take a step back and be like, wait a second, this I saw it as a giant puzzle. I really liked math and I saw everything as a giant puzzle. And so I just saw it as we have good people. I'm going to assume good intentions. Sometimes there are not so great intentions, but overall, I have to think that we have a giant puzzle that's a little messy. And if we put some structures in place, then people can probably figure out how to navigate it. But there's just some things we kind of got to figure out. But it requires people to want to be a part of it. And that is
So,
difficult when people have other motivations.
so I got a question that
Yeah.
kind of, and I know that a lot of people get into this situation, which is you come in, you're full of ideas,
Mhm.
um, and you just want to contribute to making the system better because that's why you've been hired. And you come in there, and I've seen it happen in a lot of different companies, and we talk about this kind of just before the show that we have an idea of what way things you know that we thought should be happening. We'll get to that, but at that point in time, like, did you ever at any given point in time find that maybe the people that you were working around felt threatened by the fact that you're coming in with these new ideas and adventures that they might be threatened in the fact that they didn't come up with the idea themselves, that there's a whole bunch of different kind of, because there's an environment that when we get into these corporations, right, that there's cliques that can form, and there's certain social behaviors that need to be kind of courtesied upon, the words I'm saying here, um
Absolutely.
so did you find at any point in time that these people might have felt kind of just like,
Yes.
okay,
But
so
you also you get gaslit a lot, right?
okay,
Like at least in corporate, I believe where you try you have there's a lot of testing, you try an idea, you kind of put it out there, you and then and when there's you're pushing for, hey, I want visibility around something that actually exposes kind of some bad behaviors. And by bad behaviors, I'm not saying that anybody's bad. I'm saying that, hey, we've kind of been letting things slide, and we probably should hold ourselves more accountable. And when you raise that and say, there's something that we need to be paying more attention to, and we all need a little bit more ownership of this, it's much easier for the group to say, together, we're going to say no and come up against you and say, hey, if we all say no, then we don't have to hold ourselves account. So it's much easier to go against resist the change, right? And so I was definitely somebody who was trying to raise the bar, and it was much easier to complain about me than to raise the bar together, right? And
well,
yet,
we have a saying in the army that, you know what, the troops ain't happy unless they're bitching. It's when they go
Ah,
quiet you need to be most concerned. So I can completely relate to that statement. Sorry to cut you off, but I was just like, oh
no, I
yes,
appreciate that.
tidbit.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I didn't know that. Um, I didn't, and it became very traumatizing for me because it made me question myself, where I was like, I was treated so terribly that I went from a very confident person to somebody who is not. I went from somebody who was like, wait, I'm trying something good and I'm trying to do what I'm actually trying to do what the company wants me to do, or I thought and I'm trying to serve my boss and the company and the people, and I'm actually trying to help everyone be better. Isn't that what we're all here for? So, and then all of a sudden I'm the bad person. And it was very confusing to me because I'm literal. So I was balancing this like heart of like I'm not trying to make your worlds terrible, like that's not what I want. So to have people kind of accuse me of that also really hurt. So it was really hard, so being a change agent, and I was actually kind of signing myself up for it too because I wanted change for everybody. I wanted to make things better. So I was kind of this glutton. I was kind of obsessed with this cycle of change. I thought, because I also saw, and here's the positive side of it, is that I saw the ability for us to actually innovate when we were accepting of it, when we decided to come together, and when we decided to actually, because some teams would decide to grow together. And I actually saw the infinite possibilities of innovation. And to me, that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So that is what kept me going.
So when did it come time that you've, as I like to say, that was cocoon phase. That was cocoon phase for your world to blossom as you were going to evolve into the next level. So when did you start to recognize again that maybe the work environment you were in was not conducive to where you wanted to go?
Oh, I mean, I went through probably several cycles of that, because to me, it was I kept kind of I kept staying in the tech industry. It was the only industry that I saw it happening. And so I kept feeling like this is just happening, and I stayed there thinking, okay, this is the only place that this methodology is accepted, and it's the only place that it's my expertise. And so, oh, my friend Jason's here too. And so, I just thought, okay, this is where I am going to be constantly kind of working. But I kept thinking, well, this has to be applicable to other industries because it's just a mindset. It's just about goal management. It's not anything that I'm trying to do. It's not like I was there writing code with anybody. I was just talking about how do we take a common goal, something that we want to create together, and how do we break it down? And there's, things about that, but how do we take it and really break it down? And so, it is around self-organizing and communicating our goals and operationalizing that in a very different way than like a COO might do. And so my moment was when I just realized that our corporate structures are set up in a way that we don't honor that role, and that we have built a system that purposefully creates silos. And then we complain about the silos. And I just don't see silos. I don't believe that that's the right way to tackle problems. I believe that we instead look at problems and then we go to our friends and say, okay, how do we want to solve this? And if we have passionate people, if we have people that care, we will figure it out together because we care about one another, and we will kind of pool together what we have, and we'll figure out what's missing, and we'll be resourceful together.
So there comes a challenge though, and you're talking about again, you've got a team, you want that cohesiveness. If we were to dive into your little tool bag of tricks, how what kind of little trick would you use to help your team actually invest in the actual project and commit to wanting to see it through to the end? What would be one trick that you would give to somebody to say, hey, you know what, when you're dealing with a team and you've got, people just kind of hesitant, what would you do to help inspire them to say, hey, you know what, this is what I want you to see, and this
Mhm.
is the way I want you to go. And this is kind of the reward at the end for us all if we really hit this hard. That motivation. What would be your little trick of the bag, as it were?
Mhm. Well, I think it depends on the project, right? So it depends on, is it an innovative project? Is it that you're pushing that for them to hit a deadline, which is not inspiring at all, right? So it depends on what you're trying to motivate for. I think that's hard to inspire anybody, right? Like if people try to be inspirational for deadlines and they try to often do like reward carrot sticks, that doesn't work,
Mm.
right?
Well, and that's what I'm
Um,
saying. This is a big challenge because, again, it's one thing to
right.
have the whole idea, and you've facilitated. You've got
Mhm,
the imagination of your building in your mind. Now we need to
mhm,
take and create the workers to help, again,
right.
see your dream through their eyes and see the motivation towards working that, and again, grasping them. I dealt with
Yeah.
something very similar when I was in skilled trades working in the field, which
Yeah.
was, again, we get a super huge job that we've got to do. It's like a double
Mhm,
furnace and double air conditioning
mhm,
replacement with new coil and new humidifiers, and it's what I call the full meal deal. And of course, I would see my team. I have my two associates, or my two apprentices with me, and their heads, before we even got out through the door. Right, we've got this project. It's only a day project, guys, but you
yeah.
already got your heads down. You know that there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah.
One of my things that I would do to help break the ice is like, don't make me fart on you while we're in this.
Nothing like that to break the ice.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, it
Yeah.
would it would
No.
be it would be that kind of shift to
Yeah.
go, wait, you know what? I'm making a kind of a big deal out of this install. We're working
Yeah.
together. We do have a good team. Our pursuit is to finish that job by the end of the day and produce not only what we were expected
Right.
to, but make sure that the quality and integrity is involved behind what we do, because skilled
Right.
trades, again, gets a bad rap. So that's kind
Right.
of where I was steering with that. What is
Right.
one thing, if you were, again, trying to motivate your people, what was one thing that
Yeah.
you used to pick one particular instance?
Okay. Well, I mean, it to me, problem. So it really comes down to problem solving. It really comes down to how are we going to come together when we're given something that we want to accomplish. And when it comes down to it, it's about rallying somebody, right? It's about saying, how are we going to like think about anything you've done in life and how do you come together? How do you, I love that Nick's name pops up an anthology. We pull together, right? Anything in life that we have pulled together on, my friend Megan and Jason, that their names popped up. We have pulled together in life in probably 1,000 different ways back in Charleston, right? And so I have so many examples in life that we've done that. And so in your example, it's that morning meeting or whatever. I'm not going to fart on you, or I am going to fart on you, or whatever it is, right? But it's
Something to
saying, hey,
just
what's our game plan? And
Mhm.
to look at every single person there and saying, you're part of this game plan. And because you're part of this game plan, I need to know, what do you need? What do we so it's looking at what do we have to, we're sharing this ownership, we're sharing the success, and I need everybody's input because you're part of this. And so that's important. I value it. I need to understand your needs, your wants, your whatever, because our success is part of this, right? And if we don't really honor everybody's voice, then we are setting ourselves up for failure. And that is just an accepted truth. So often, leaders, they commit timelines without even talking to their people. They commit things without even having a clue, and then they cascade those messages. Not on my team, right? Because I'd be like, Yeah, and what about this and this? Or they expect teams to manage their own schedules, but then the teams don't have visibility in the different things that are coming at them. So what I have built and why I had to leave was because there was no appetite for people to actually create visibility around this.
I
And I'm
love that
like,
word
our
appetite. I
system.
do. Like, again, where is the pursuit? What makes me want to come in and just fire away on this every day? Because again, that motivation is a really
Yeah.
hard thing to do.
Well, it also calls out the leadership teams that they have to get their act together. And that's why nobody really liked me too much because I kind of called everyone on their shit, right? I
Right?
called out the teams, like, and it's like, and I'm actually just trying to help everybody because I'd be like, hey, teams, I'm going to protect you from getting yourselves boxed into stuff you don't want to do. And I did protect them. I also protected executives, and I'd be like, hey, I'm going to actually give you visibility in what we can and can't do. And we actually became super effective and hit our goals, but I was realistic. And when people don't want realistic, they don't really appreciate it, right? And so you end up getting traumatized through that because you get squeezed. And so it was a really difficult position when you're the only person, you feel like you're in crazy town because you're like, wait a second, I'm the only one who's actually willing to call things the way that they are.
And the reason I was
And
asking those questions, because and this is where we're kind of steering around to is, again, and you've been pointing it out as we've been progressing through this fun little adventure. And I mean, there's so many questions coming for me, but again, the circle of people just listening to you, and we've talked before. I'm psyched. You want to go build? Hey, do you want to go build a snowman? Like, all right, let's do it, Kinga. Let's do it. I might get snagged for monetization on that, but I at least hopefully kept it out of key. But I mean, that's just it. It's about the environment that you're working in, and if you've got those right cohesive partners in play, you can start to facilitate.
right.
So I want to take it to the next part, which is, all right, we've recognized the environment. We understand the environment's not good. We've moved on to the next environment. When did you start to realize is that, you know what, I am not out to lunch for thinking what I have thought for so long? And it's not like I told you
Mhm.
so moment. It's like, okay, the environment that I was looking for in order to thrive in, that I thought was completely out to lunch. Like, what's wrong with coming in with a good attitude to just want to be in there first off? How is the workload divvied up? Is it a reasonable expectation for the employees? Now that you've got these facets into play, when did you really start to feel the momentum change for you when you started getting those kind of like key hockey players or key football players on your team?
Well, here's the thing is I built the system.
Yes.
And so I made sure that I protected everybody. I was the protector. I went in and on my website I have just been making updates, but I saw myself as a three-dimensional box and I went straight into the center and I held the middle, right? I had every stakeholder putting pressure on me. And I built the system so that the communications were around that center, which was the goals, making sure everybody's needs were being met, which was how so that it could resonate and ripple throughout the organization. But one person cannot do that. I had to create a coaching culture. I had to make sure, right, that rippled and resonated. Not one person can do that and not get support. And I wasn't getting support. I was getting abused. I was feeling very isolated. And, in corporate, you often, things change. We're swapping out CEOs, everybody, they're moving. So you get promises and you get left behind. And then you get treated because those people set new expectations, and maybe they don't like the system because they don't like being called out, or they want to change something, right? And then people start turning on you. And that was extremely traumatic for me. People whose careers I had built turned on me, like a lot of people, like everybody, right? And so going through that was like, wow, wow, and so for me, it's that's when I said, this something is so broken that I cannot do this again. My soul cannot bear this again. And so I just decided, like, I cannot do this. I have to commit that from here forward, I know the answer. I know how to make people successful. I know how to make people very wealthy. I've proven that I can, so I'm not worried about proving this to anybody. But they have to want to do it for themselves, because I cannot be the one that goes into the center and lives that for them. They have to live their own values. I was trying to live the values of the people who pulled the purse strings. And I was trying to make the system run as if it was my own. And that's not sustainable.
No. Well,
So
thank you for
yeah.
going there. It's not that, and I applaud you and thank you for sharing that, because again, if one person's talking about it, then another person's experiencing it, right?
Yeah.
And you never know who it is. But you go ahead.
There's infinite possibilities for those that decide to make use of this.
I'm sorry. I got to give a quick shout out to William. He was literally calling me on earlier. He's like, "Did you say fart?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, man. Welcome to Soul Man Live." and now this is everybody that sees me do this. If you've never been here before, this is my Hulk heart, and it grows. And when I can't always acknowledge everybody, or my special guest is again going to a really deep place for us to again help others, then yeah, I'm going to throw my Hulk card up, because this thing has grown over 3.5 years, and I am going to be there and be with you in this moment. So there's a quick shout out. Thank you, William. And yeah, we just had to clear that up, because he's been asking so many questions. And I actually, you know what, let's go back to one here. I've got one highlight that he brought up earlier. And of course, as I'm scrolling by, he's like, "Yes, I did hear the word fart correctly. Yes, you did, 100%." Here we go. This is one thing that I want to bring up, because when we were talking about it earlier, sometimes I ask what the person is hearing. There is what I say, and then there is what the other person has heard or interpreted, and my favorite word is perceived.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which brings up, again, now that you escaped kind of that toxicity, and now it was, for me, it was night and day when I finally found my happy home. And shout out to my East Coast family at Ream. They are such a group and team orientated amount of individuals working again towards the greater good, and headlined by our fantastic, I call her the big coach, which is Barbara. And she drives, she focuses us all from all avenues of her departments, just from a similar path and I mean, she didn't deal with a lot of the toxicity that you did. She fought her way as equally well, the same way that you've fought through. So I know that if she's watching, and much love and appreciation to Barbara did I just say Barb? My apologies. That happens on occasion, but it is Barbara. She went through, again, her own struggles to fight where she is. And I just applaud her. I got a chance to sit down with her, and learn about her journey, and was just literally just wanted to stand up, giving a ovation to her, because again, to work for somebody that really is goal orientated, focused. And I mean, it's also, as kind of William was talking about earlier, it's about that interpretation, understanding that when it's time to put the game face on, that it's time to put the game face on, and not everything can be bells and whistles. We're going to plug through it. We're going to get through to the end.
Yep.
And you literally did that. You plugged through to the end, and we have you here now, and you've got some big and spectacular things coming from you. The last thing I want to get at before we get into the favorite part of the most favorite part for most on the show, which is we want to start diving into your mental health break montage, which I have. I love writing everybody's kind of soul song, that song that kind of captures them and the spirit. And I don't want to give too much away, so we're gonna keep it loose on that. The thing I wanted to dive into is, what did it feel like for you? Give me 2 words to describe the feelings that you had when you finally found that work environment that was not a fairy tale.
Oh, that was not a fairy tale. Or the work
Now that you
environment.
realize that you can, now that the things that you thought were so out of, let's use an example. So I was working for an environment where people would show up late repeatedly.
Yes.
And then I go to a different company and everybody is there early, drinking coffee, engaging. Jobs are prepped up. What was it like for you to finally, and 2 words that would describe that feeling when you go, you know what? All these things that I'm pursuing and all these things that they may have thought weren't
Oh,
of value.
safe. Yeah,
Yeah, your
safe.
safe environment to go, you know what? Hey,
Yeah,
this is the right and work environment that I
yeah,
was always meant for, and I feel at place, and I
yeah,
have a place.
yeah,
To feel that
safe.
you have a place at a job, even if it's your own entrepreneurship,
Yeah, it's myself.
right? And it
But
is.
with my
But
friends here,
you've
right?
had people that have
Yeah,
helped you along the way to create
yeah,
that entrepreneurship. So what did it feel like for you to finally go, okay, well, you know what? To hell with
free,
y'all. I'm starting my
free,
own stuff.
free,
Freedom. One other word that
free.
describes it. Oh, just more freedom.
It
Okay, well, I get
it
that.
is. It is a lot of freedom. Well, I really it was so much, I realized when you lose kind of everything, and you don't realize how much of a hold people have kind of on you. And that's probably why I've been known for a lot of the spicy stuff I say, where I was like, you know how much I had been boxed in and how much I had held back? Like, I have been this quiet, putting up with jabs and kicks my entire life. I have bit my tongue. For those friends that know me from South Carolina, but yeah, she put up with a lot, and I never was allowed to say peep. And to finally be able to stand up for myself, because I got kicked a lot. And to say, this isn't right, because if you're doing it to me, you're doing it to others. And to me, that is really just, we're allowing harm and we wonder why we're in the state that we're in.
Hashtag mic drop. Hashtag mic drop. Thank you for going there with us this evening and going to that place. And I just want to let you know that you are appreciated and you are very much seen for your talents. And I'm glad that you literally paved. I would use the word pioneered more than paved. You have created a new pathway for yourself, and you're thriving. I see it every day. And of course, for those of you that don't know me, I am watching. These eyes are always watching, and I'm always happy to see when my colleagues are really just blossoming into that next evolutionary phase of beautiful butterfly. And speaking of beautiful butterfly, writing your mental health break montage, there was a fire, and we talked about it in our very first conversation. And I may mention, and for those of you that don't know, I refer to Kinga as Kinga Kong, but not as a giant gorilla, all right? And the fact that she has power. She has unfathomable power that executes like a dove. soft, graceful attacks, gets it done. But she has the force of a giant behind her when she comes and she is focused on something. So, without further delay or ado, milady, please welcome to your mental health break montage. Oh, hold on. See, it does this. There we go. See, here it comes. It always happens. There's a little glitch on StreamYard, but we're going to fix it right now. So we'll try that again. Take two. Take two on the live. Please welcome to your mental health break montage.
She's a force of nature, a symphony in the night. With the grace of a dove, she takes her flight. Soft as the morning dew on the grass so green, yet fierce like the roar of Kong unseen. In the boardroom she commands with a gentle hand, turning every challenge into a golden strand. Her eyes, they sparkle with wisdom and might, guiding through the darkest storms, a beacon of light. Oh, she's a woman of power, a woman of grace, a lioness in the jungle, a queen in this place. With the softness of a dove and the strength of a king, she conquers every mountain, makes the world sing. Through the corridors of power, she strides with ease, a melody of courage, a harmony to please. Her voice a whisper that can move mountains high, a warrior in spirit, a dreamer with a sigh. She faces the odds with a heart full of fire, building empires, her vision never tires. From dawn till dusk, her spirit never fades, a leader, a legend in the stories we've made. Oh, she's a woman of power, a woman of grace, a lioness in the jungle, a queen in this place. With the softness of a dove and the strength of a king, she conquers every mountain, makes the world sing. In the quiet moments she finds her peace, a gentle soul yet a force to release. She stands tall, unshaken by the storm, a testament to the strength within forever. She's a beacon of hope, a guiding star, leading the way no matter how far. Her journey is one of resilience and might, a story of triumph, a tale of the fight. In her hands the future is bright and clear, a path paved with dreams and a destiny near. She walks with purpose, her steps so sure, a woman of valor, a legacy pure. Oh, she's a woman of power, a woman of grace, a lioness in the jungle, a queen in this place. With the softness of a dove and the strength of a king, she conquers every mountain, makes the world sing.
Booyah!
Woo!
I feel ready to conquer armies right now. Let's do this, Kinga.
Goosebumps! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Look at Megan! Yes.
I was
I
so
think we
excited.
have
I even
new-
forgot to bring up, oh, this is the montage thing. I was the banner. I totally forgot about. I was like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna show her.
I have goosebumps. Oh.
Well, I'm
Thank
glad that
you.
you loved it. Of course,
I
I've got to bring
love
up
it.
this next banner because it's the big thing that I'm again. We can. Well, I'll let you.
That's
I'll only let you go so
amazing.
far. But what's new? What's
I
big? And what's
love it.
coming up for you next?
Well, I am releasing finally kind of my entire operating system, which is iKingGuy. I got a trademark, which I know I've been talking about, but it's up on my website. Of course, I broke my website because I'm also learning website development, which is not something I was expecting to do, but it's just part of my whole business thing. So, yeah, I have that going on, and I'm putting that together, and I'm going to LA next week, or maybe in like 2 weeks, and I'm going to be on the cover of a magazine coming up soon. So, late October, look for an announcement. And
Excellent.
yeah, I have
Coming
some
soon.
exciting stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to be on the cover of one of the rebrands, but 25 most inspiring people. So yeah,
I am
I'm excited.
celebrating you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And of course, this is kind of the benefit to building these relationships here on certain platforms. I'm not going to give any favoritism anymore because the last one threw me into a LinkedIn clink. So I'm not going to give any favoritism to them. But again, we were able to build some beautiful communities and network with some amazing folks. And you have always been a blessing in my world. And the fact that your authenticity, your fire, and that's why I put it into that song. You are a lion out there, but you're so much more. You're also a queen. You're also a king. You've covered so many different areas to be where you are, and you are celebrated and appreciated. So thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
You are amazing. And that was everything I could have dreamed of. Thank you so much. I
You are
loved
welcome. You
it.
will get your copy right after the show, as everybody does. You get a copy to download for as your gift for coming on Soul Man Live.
Oh
And for
my gosh.
those of you that aren't aware, by the way, this is a completely nonprofit show. Everybody that comes on the show, it is just me inviting them to come on the show. I do not charge for anything that we do here. This is, again, this is an effort to help those that are silently struggling and to provide a positive message on a Friday. And Kinga, you have served us up one hell of a good Friday dish. And we are on fire from it. I am on fire, and I'm still even vibing right now because I finally got to show you that song. It sucks when you build this stuff because then you're all anxious to show them, and you're like, I can't wait to show you what I built you. And there's also a little bit of fear in that too, because again, not everybody like trying to capture somebody's soul song. There's a lot of expectation behind it. So I'm always very nervous because I have very high expectations for myself to make sure that we're serving you and celebrating you in the way that you need to be celebrated. So thank you, thank you, thank
Well,
you.
people that
Very
know
much.
me and have known me for 20 plus years are letting you know.
All
Nailed
right.
it.
So before we let you venture back into the green room, where can people get a hold of you? Where can we find you? I know that I even made sure to make a comment earlier just to make sure that, and Leslie did find it. Your YouTube channel. Hold on. I'm scrolling. You guys have just lit up the comments tonight. Thank you so much for being here to support Kinga. Let me just I'm trying to get to it. We're getting to Kinga's YouTube channel. Here it is. Well, there we go. So please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Kinga's YouTube channel. Where else can we find you?
So you know I'm on LinkedIn, but honestly, I'm going to start trying to build up kind of my website, and I'm actually going to be building another one, which is pmojournalism.com, because I think that it's important that we talk about the truth in business. So a lot of the articles and stuff that I've been writing, I was like, website, that's for kind of services and things like that. But I'm an opinionated person, and I like also data. So for some of those articles that I wrote on the Forbes Council, I want that kind of stuff to be on over on the PMO journalism site. So that's where that's going.
It's so exciting because again, when we look back down that mountain, it seems like it was yesterday, but it also seems, you said this earlier, it seems like it was yesterday, but it was also so close. Or sorry, so it was so far away, but it was also so close at the same time.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So
thanks,
we're
everyone.
gonna cue this up. Thank you so much, Kinga, for being here. You hang out in the green room. I'm gonna wrap things up with these amazing luminous souls, and we'll get them all ready for what's coming up in the future.
Love you all.
All right. See you soon, Kinga. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. It has been jam-packed, and please reach out to Kinga. She is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to paving and pioneering her own paths, and again, reaching a new level of communication within, again, some adverse areas that she's got through. She's been able to develop some great processes that have really come to her benefit. Look, she's going to be in a magazine. Oh my God. Good job. Oh, wow. As always, yes, almost an hour. We are an hour and 36 minutes in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, celebrating your Friday. For those of you that are out there struggling with mental adversity, please know that within Canada and the US, you can reach out to 988 on the phone line. Please know that you are worthy of taking this leap of faith. I did the exact same thing many moons ago, and that's why I'm still here and now thriving into a whole new adventure, and just at the all at the core, just being myself, flaws and all, trying to provide that a little extra tidbit for somebody out there going through the same things that we all go through that might change their world. Pay it forward out there. Give a person a smile, and make sure that, please, sweet Mary Mother Pearl, that you message a friend tonight and wish them a happy Friday and just let them know that you're thinking of them. Without further delay or ado, let's chime this out with that outro and maybe see you at the end for a little sneak peek. I don't know. And of course, it does what I always say it does, is it pauses the video, and then I'm stuck here looking a little silly for a moment. But we always make it fun and adventurous when we do this here at Jurassic Park. So let's try this again. Take 2 on the tube.
Soul Man, shining bright, lighting up the darkest night, helping those in silent fight, sending hugs big and tight. Shine your light, oh so bright, spread love, make it right. Soul Man, you ignite, open every heart, take flight. Spotlight on the broken soul, making wounded spirits whole, embracing all, making them whole. Your kindness, a shining gold. Shine your light, oh so bright, spread love, make it right. Soul Man, you ignite, open every heart, take flight. Let your love be the guide, in you all fear subside. Together we'll stand with pride, your warmth a healing tide. Shine your light, oh so bright, spread love, make it right. Soul Man, you ignite, open every heart, take flight. Let your love be the guide, in you all fears subside. Together we'll stand with pride, your warmth a healing tide. Shine your light, oh so bright, spread love, make it right. Soul Man, you ignite, flight.
See, I told you I'd be back. Surprise. Hey, everybody, tomorrow night, Nick Never in Control. My baby sister is going to be on the big screen once again. I'm going to be back where I'm happiest, which is doing my remote production and asking people to pull my finger while I'm in the control booth. You know how it rolls here as well. Careers, Chaos, and Coaching is on Sunday. Big shout out to Felipe and Melissa. And of course, nothing but love for Leslie Flowers. Make sure you check out Mind Over Matter on Mondays. And other than that, I'm going to wish you all a safe and luminous weekend. Take care out there and keep it luminous and kind.